literally the best strategy for beginners to get you a high profit with barely any chance to lose. Let me introduce you to the awesome oscillator strategy. Hello my dear friends, in this video we're gonna do a detailed review on the awesome oscillator indicator. We're gonna try to at least double the initial deposit using this oscillator signals. As you could have already guessed, this indicator is a signaling kind, so it's pretty easy to trade with it. All you gotta do is follow a few simple rules that I'm gonna be talking about in this video. Let's not beat around the bush. Or today's initial deposit is $956, nearly $1,000. I hope we'll have managed to make another grand extra by the end of this video. Let's enable the indicator. It's really easy to do. On the Pocket Option platform, in the top left corner, in the Indicators menu section, we're finding the awesome oscillator indicator and clicking it once. It's probably the only indicator out there that doesn't require any additional adjustments or settings. Everything, all the periods, the short period and the long period are the same. The style of the graphics stays the same. We're not changing a thing. The indicator constitutes such a visually comprehensive histogram divided into halves. The two equal parts are essentially partitioned with the zero line. Here's a scale in the right part of the indicator. Here's the scale with the zero line as its only reference mark. Let's call it a zero line. Whenever the oscillator stays above the zero line, there's an uptrend prevailing on the market, or an upward motion, whatever you're willing to call it. If we draw a vertical line this way, we'll see that within this chart part, starting right here and all the way to the end, to this part, buyer's power was taken over the market. Same rule applies to cases of the oscillator going below the zero line. The market displays a strong downtrend, a downward motion, so this element may be used for additional analysis. Today we're going to be looking for the chart reversing points. This indicator is excellent at this job due to one lovely mathematical model called divergence or convergence. Let me explain it to you in simple words. There are even two nice examples on this chart. One is a nice case to buy and the other one is to sell. Let's start off with the first one for buying. The market is moving downwards, however we can notice a clear wave-ish motion on the indicator. Here's the first wave right here and here's the second one. And there's even a tiny third one. That's exactly what we're looking for. As we can see, the oscillator chart moves below the zero line. That's the case of a signal to buy. And one more required condition to add up with the signal, the indicator itself gotta move towards the zero line. We can witness it right now. Each vertex, each wave gets smaller and smaller compared to the previous. Meanwhile, the chart is falling. Thereby, the moment we can draw a line through these two vertices is a neat time to recognize the signal. Here's the first peak. Right here, we can see here, and here is the second one. We're drawing a line through them both, and we can tell the line is facing upwards. Therefore, at this exact moment, as soon as the second vertex is formed, our long-awaited signal to buy arrives. So at this point, we're placing an upward trade, and what can we see? The market moves up for a little while afterwards. Same rule applies to the signal. This one, we've got the same two vertices we're drawing a line through, and since the oscillator line looks like this, while the chart appears this way, it's a clear signal of an upcoming reversal. Let's see. This is when we got the signal, and once again opens an upward deal, and once again earned our profit. I hope everything's clear and coherent so far. Let me explain the same signal, but a downward case this time. It's just as simple. In such situation, we're looking for the already well-known waves within the oscillator. Here's the first wave and the second one. At the same time, we can notice the second wave is smaller than the first one. Essentially, the oscillator started falling, facing towards the zero line. The chart was, however, rising. Here are those vertices. The market is indeed rising. Altogether, that means as soon as the second vertex on the oscillator is formed, we're clicking the selling lower button, which gets naturally followed by the market fall. Enough theory, let's finally get straight to practice and cover all of your questions. So guys, that exact tweezer top where we're talking about is forming in the chart as we speak. Meanwhile, the oscillator keeps on heading towards the zero line. Here's the zero line. We can easily draw a diagonal line through the two vertices on the oscillator. Here's the second vertex. We can tell it has formed because there's a grand stick after the group of red ones, which is exactly what indicates a new vertex appearance. Obviously, it's a signal to buy. So as soon as the new red stick appeared, we placed an upward trade. The deal's expiration time is 1 minute since we analyzed the market within the 1 minute time frame as well. In case you work with 5 minutes, for instance, your deal's expiration time should therefore be 5 minutes at the very least as well. So, however, as you can see, we have yet to receive the signal from the 5 minute time frame in terms of this situation. The signal arrived for M1 only, so we placed the trade and it wonderfully closed in profit. So guys, let's try and place another trade against this powerful trade right here. Of course, you gotta understand trading against the trend automatically means higher additional risk. Although I can tell you right now, the signal might be one of those legit reliable ones. Look, we're not gonna pay attention to this vertex right here. We're highlighting this first peak and this is the second one. We can see the oscillator is heading towards zero, whereas the chart keeps on falling, which leads to divergence. The chart will always follow the oscillator sooner or later, so we're placing an upward trade and hoping for this amazing signal to end up safe and right so that we can earn a nice sum once again. Let's wait and see. What a great start of the deal that was. The trade has closed in profit. The next signal grows big with a confident rising tendency. The second vertex is formed completely, so we're moving on to the next case. So guys, let's place a downward trade this time. This case is just as simple. We're doing everything by the book, just like I've been teaching you all along. We can draw a diagonal line through the two oscillator vertices. There's the first peak, and here's the second one. The indicator is heading towards the zero line, so that the chart is about to direct its primary motion downwards as well, if it hasn't already. All we gotta do in this case is wait for the result. Technically, we should have entered 1 or 2 candles ago if we were to follow the rules accurately and strictly, but I'm hoping for this downward motion to keep going strong because there's already 2 vertices in the chart as well. If the current deal doesn't succeed, we'll cover it with another one amounted to $400. Let's place another 1 minute trade and wait for the result. The asset we're trading with has finally started showing signs of a falling tendency, so I'm glad our second deal within this case has also closed in profit. My dear friends, I think we can aim for a downward trade in this case. I'm slowly increasing the deals amount. It's $300 now. The whole situation is absolutely typical. We've already witnessed identical cases before. The oscillator is fallen. These two beautiful vertices has formed. And so we're placing a deal downwards. I'm expecting multiple entries as the trade is getting placed against this powerful trend, which means the first one might simply not have enough time to succeed. So we always keep that in mind, apply risk and money management. Let's wait for the result. As I've already warned y'all, the trade might simply not have enough time for a profitable process. The market may easily start reversing a bit later than we would ideally want it to, so we're placing another trade. We're gonna take $600 this time for proper coverage. I'm 100% certain this one is gonna close. I'm sure you understand there's a certain risk to deals against the trend and it's quite high, so we're gonna keep that in mind and try to abstain from trading against powerful uptrends and downtrends from now on. So let's go ahead and find the final deal for today. So guys, we're witnessing another signal from the oscillator for this asset. The oscillator is heading towards zero. The two vertices right here display a falling tendency. Meanwhile, the chart finds itself in a downtrend. Although we did promise to avoid potential deals against the trend last time, this particular trend is already fading. We can recognize it by the angle of the motion attack. It gets less sharp and more obtuse with each time. So chances are the chart will reverse and change the trend's direction right now and right here. And in order for the trend to change, the price needs to break through this trend line right here. Anyway, the deal will close in 5 seconds. I'm sure we're gonna get our profit. We are about to earn $768, which adds up our account balance to $2,088. Isn't it wonderful? So the goal of today's video is achieved. I hope I managed to coherently demonstrate all the signals that are possible to trade with using this lovely indicator. Make sure to apply the gained knowledge and practice, and don't forget you can make money together with me for free. All you gotta do is to subscribe to my free Telegram channel via the link in the pinned comment and follow my trading recommendations. Good luck, see you in my next video.